all the people here are here today, or the majority of the people that are here today are here to protest the Leatherstocking pipeline, which is 50% owned by Mirabito Holdings and the other 50% by Corning Natural Gas, Corning Gas LLC. The major issue here is that Leatherstocking is trying to gain public utility status and the right to eminent domain, and the initial step in making that happen is to get agreements with the town of Coventry, the town of Bainbridge, and the village of Sydney. The village of Sydney has already signed an agreement, and the village of Bainbridge, where our public hearing is tonight, our town supervisor wouldn't commit one way or the other whether or not this was going to come to a vote tonight. The town of Bainbridge is voting next week on Tuesday, June 14th.
As you can see from my sign, it gives you an idea of some of the big things, important things that I'm concerned about. I think it's a losing proposition overall, and I think a few people want to take us all to Vegas so that they might gain a few dollars, except they're taking all our assets and all the things that we value in our lives, and they're taking them along and betting those along with their own properties.
People have spoken very favorably.
And
so
they might want to do what they want to do on their land. And on the surface, I sympathize with that. But when you say that in order to do that they want to do on their land, when that means that they're going to take all of our assets along with them, I don't think that's the right thing to do.
I'm a natural gas monster, and I just want you to know that we're going to do it safely. We're going to do it very safely. And these teeth, mainly we don't show our teeth when we go around and try to get these people to sign their faces.
Would you like to talk about the conflict of interest?
Well, we have one board member that I know of that has a lease on his gas lease on his property. We have another board member who is in with the Landowners Coalition, and others we don't know about yet.
What do you feel what's the most pressing? What do you feel most threatened about? Did anybody want to speak?
You pay all these taxes and then they stick it in your neck now, you know. All the money you pay on taxes every year, and now they're turning their backs on us. That's basically what it is. They're throwing us to the dogs.
You can't drink money. You can't drink money. You know, and if we didn't learn anything from Love Canal or any of those places, you know, lives destroyed, you can't have them back again. Just because we're not in the numbers that they are in the bigger cities doesn't mean that it's not important.
So we retired from jobs and came up here to live. We've been up here quite a while already, and now all of a sudden we stand a chance to lose everything we have, and can't start all over at our age. You know, everything is gone. Your property's worthless once it gets poisoned. What are you going to do?
What I'm very concerned about, more than the conflicts of interest, besides the conflicts of interest on our town board, is the fact that there's no safe way of doing this hydrofracking. Even the vertical fracking isn't safe. They're still injecting hazardous chemicals into the ground and releasing radiation into the water. I have friends all over the country, and Texas, Colorado, Louisiana, and they've said any place where there's gas drilling out there, it's ruined their communities. It's just not the same. And they're wreaking havoc in Pennsylvania, and the gas companies, the drillers, their policy is lie, deny, and downplay. And that's the gist of it. And there's just no way of doing it safe the way they're doing it now. They could drill straight down, no chemicals, it didn't affect our water, but they're not doing it that way. And our town board, our supervisor, they're just rolling over for the gas companies.
And the other thing is they're talking about getting this initially tapping into the Hoopen well. That's going to involve a gathering line. So are they going to be building that gathering line? Is that going to be part of their pipeline? And they're talking also about once they have established this pipeline, going to these. There's a couple of anchor companies in Sydney. Then they plan to, extend out to Cooperstown, extend out to Binghamton, going through the towns of Afton and Greene, and also they want to supply residents within 1,000 feet of the pipeline. Well, this is going to involve service lines. They were talking about also having other wells drilled. Our supervisor mentioned that they were planning on drilling wells on another 3 properties. One of them actually belonging to it actually belongs to me now. Was my mother's my parents' property. My mom died 2 years ago, and which is how I actually got involved in all this. She signed a lease without realizing what she was getting into, and they, used a number of lies to get her to sign the lease. And she wanted, once she found out some of the things that they actually planned to do on her property, she wanted out. And anyway, it was just that's how I got involved, and it was like really horrible. That's how she had to worry about these things for the last year of her life.
Bottom line, in a nutshell, my drinking water is a lot more important to me than gas. And once you ruin the drinking water, that's it. There's no getting it back. There's no fixing it. Once you have a problem with the groundwater's contaminated, it's over. You're finished.
In our community, it's 100% wells. If they ruin the drinking water, we're done. All wells.
Yeah. And I find it disappointing that our government hasn't been pursuing research into green energy decades ago.
Actually, once again, I'd like to thank everybody for making it here tonight and standing up for our rights here in our town, not to allow, hopefully, to talk our town board into not signing an agreement which would put our property in jeopardy of having eminent domain status, be able to take it from us, and also to make use of the right-of-ways along our property without any compensation or any choice of having these pipelines run right along our properties. And actually, as if I don't know how many of you were able to look through the Sydney agreement with Leatherstocking, the Village of Sydney felt it was necessary to address issues of safety as far as from a liability standpoint concerning leaking pipelines and explosions, and they wanted to make sure that the pipeline company took on that responsibility financially and held them held the village itself without responsibility. So clearly there are issues to be concerned about as far as safety goes. One of the other major concerns is eventually, if they're planning on extending this pipeline, the start of it is supposed to go from the Hoopen well here in Coventry and extend out to the town of Sydney and to the Amphenol plant and Mead, Westvaco. And they are talking about, once that's established, later on extending out to the Cooperstown, through the town of Afton, through the town of Greene, and on into Binghamton. And this is just for a start. They did say that they had planned to have this up and running by this time next year. So hopefully, with all of us here saying that, hey, no, we don't want this, hopefully our town will listen to us and take our feelings into consideration and say no to this pipeline. How many people want to say no to this pipeline? Woo! All of us! Say no Leatherstocking in Coventry. Woo! Just a little bit here, the meeting should be starting, and then we'll all go inside and get a chance to speak our piece as far as how we feel about the pipeline.